Okay, so now we know how to create a server with Node, a custom server using Express, and we know how to get, how to post, how to send JSON, how to use middlewares, and everything else. That's cool. But I'm pretty sure that you're interested in how to use a server, a Node.js server, and a React application, how to link both endpoints. And that's the keyword. You can have two different endpoints whenever you work at home, in your computer, on a new project, you can have two endpoints. This first one is going to be the server, the Node.js server, and the other endpoint is going to be the client. And inside the client, you can have your React application. So now the problem is that you can create an application with Webpack and everything else, but we were using Create React App. So how to link Create React App with this server? If you remember, whenever we run our application with Create React App is going to create a server for us, which runs on the local host 3000. So, that creates a problem for us right now, but I'm going to show you how to link both of this at different endpoints. So we're going to be using the same project. We're going to restructure everything. We really need to change it. So you can download a copy. I gave you the resource so you can download this version of Node Simple Server. And we're going to delete pretty much everything and we're going to start all over again. First, I'm going to go to server. I'm going to rename it and I'm going to change this one to just server because, we are using Express. So, server. I'm going to go to the actual project right here. And I'm going to start deleting things. I'm going to delete the index, the JSON post. I'm going to keep node modules, then delete the public, the query string, the server basic, just going to delete everything. Good. So the only thing we got left is the server, the package.json inside the root directory, and the node modules. I'm going to go to the server. I'm going to start deleting things, just like that. So we're going to leave just an empty space right here, just empty. I'm going to change the port to 3001. Whenever after we download a Create React application, it's going to run on this port. So, we're going to be running both different endpoints on the same port. So I'm going to change our server one to 3001. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some logic right here. I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to go right here. And whenever we run our React application, what we want to do, we want to make a request with Axios to a specific place, and that place is going to be returning some JSON data because that's what we want to do. Our server is just going to be the backend part that is going to be taking requests and sending some data back. So I'm going to do app.get open and close, and inside of here we're going to make a request for API and then user. So this one is going to be just returning. We're going to have the callback, sorry. And they're going to have the request and the response. So this one is just going to return some JSON data. So it's going to do response and then JSON. We're going to send some JSON. So we're going to send an array of objects. So we're going to do an array and then, of course, the first object. We're going to have an ID of 1 and then something simple. So it's username and then whatever, Francis. We know that one. I'm going to do comma and I'm going to send the second one, which is going to be, it's going to get an ID of 2 and the username is going to be Steve. So whenever we make a request to API users, we're going to get this in return, just a JSON data. Good. So, okay. So what is next? I'm going to create a new request. We're going to do 2. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to go right here at the bottom. I'm going to say car, just like that. So cars, let me make it plural. And right here, going to make users. Makes sense. So instead of usernames, it's going to be a brand. And this one is going to be Ford. And this one is going to be Nissan, whatever. Let me change the brand right here. Brand. There we go. Okay, so in theory, if I go to the Node Simple Server, to the root directory, and I do nodemon, just like that, and then server.js, I press enter, is going to start the server. And if we go to localhost 3001, we cannot get, of course. But if we make a request to API and then users, we should be getting the JSON data. And we do, we get the JSON. So now we know we can make a request to localhost 3001 and get some JSON in return. Now the next step is going to be creating a client, and the client is going to be our React application pretty much. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to open a new tab, just like that. I'm going to do clear, and let me make this bigger. And what we need to do, we need to install and bring a fresh branch of create React app. So we're going to do create dash React, then app, and the name of the directory is going to be client. So this is going to create a directory, just a folder right here called client, and inside of that client is going to install all the dependencies and files for a React application. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to press enter and then be right back whenever it's done. Okay, so everything was installed. So now if we go to the root directory and inside client, you have your create React application. So now we have two different places, the server, which is located on the root, and then inside the client, we have the React. So inside client, inside that path, if we do npm start, it's going to start the development server for the React application. And inside the localhost 3000, we are going to get the default template. That's good. So again, you have two different places, the localhost 3001, which with our node server that returns JSON, and then localhost 3000 with the React application. So again, if in the future you want to work with this, you need to open two different batches and run nodemon and then run npm start. And that's fine, but you need to do a lot of typing. So there is a better way. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna terminate the process. I'm gonna kill this right here. I'm gonna do clear. I'm inside the root directory. Okay. So I'm gonna go to package.json right here, and what we need to do, we're gonna be doing some changes inside here. So what we can do, we can add some commands to run the server and run the client whenever we want it to from this terminal. So I'm going to do comma, I'm going to specify one that's going to be start, and this is going to be the one that Heroku is going to be using. We're not going to use it right now, so you just need to enter it, start, then node, and then server. So whenever we push this to Heroku, Heroku is going to enter our package.json, and it's going to know that we want to execute this one. But that's good. For now, we don't need it. So I'm going to do comma, I'm going to go to the next line, and first, we need a server. So I'm going to do server, just like this, open and close. So whenever we run the server in our computer in development mode, we want to run nodemon and then server.js. So I'm going to save it, and now what we can do, we can do npm, then run, and then server. So this is going to start nodemon. And now there is no need to do nodemon server.js. We just type npm run server and everything is going to work right here. Good. So then we have the client. Now the problem is that we are inside this package.json and not inside of the package.json of the client. So we need a way to let the application know that it needs to enter to the client and run whatever we have inside the client. So there's a way, of course. I'm going to do client, open and close, and we want to do npm run start. Now this npm run start is going to be the start from the client. Right here we have start inside the package.json of the client, which we will run React scripts and start. This is going to start the React application. Now the thing is that, of course, if we specify, we just leave it just like this, npm run start is going to run this one, the node server.js. So again, we need a way to tell the application that this one belongs to the client. So what we do, we use a prefix. It's going to say prefix, and then we do a space and we pass the name of the directory. In this case, we want to trigger whatever is inside with start inside client. So now if I go right here, I kill the process, do clear, and if we run npm run and then client, press enter, and it's going to start the development server for React. So now this one is working. Let's see. Okay, everything works. If I reload this one, of course, we kill the process, nothing is going to work. Okay. So now again, you still need to open two different batches to run npm run server and then npm run client. But there is a way to use something and run server and client from the same command at the same time. So I'm going to do comma. I'm going to go right here. No, sorry. Let me delete it, leave it just like this. We're going to be using something that calls concurrently. It's, of course, a dependency. So concurrently lets you run two different commands. So I'm going to go right here, I'm going to kill it, I'm going to do clear, then npm install, then concur, just like this, randly, make sure the just double check the spelling, then minus save. It's going to do the installation, right, everything is done. I'm going to do clear, it's really small. So right here we have the concurrently, good. So now how to use it? I'm going to go right here at the bottom, and this one is going to be called dev. So whenever we do npm run dev, we're going to run server and client at the same time. Okay, I'm going to open and close. I'm going to say concur, and make sure that you have it right here at the bottom. So to skip any errors, just paste it. So now what do we need to do? We need to pass both commands. So we're going to do backslash. I know it's weird. Backslash. Then we do a quote and we do npm run and then server. And to close it, we do backslash and then we close it just like this. Since we need to create to run the client as well, we're going to do a space backslash quote and then npm run and then client. And of course, we need to close that. And now we need to do two quotes to close the statement. So now if we do npm run dev, concurrently, it's going to run this, the server, and it's going to run this, the client, on the same command. Okay, so we do npm run, and we do, of course, dev. I'm going to press enter. Oh, I didn't save it. I'm going to save it. Let me save it first. There we go. Let me run it again, npm run dev. And notice that we have two different processes. The node one with the server, and then we have, of course, the React server. And if I just reload it, this one it's up, and this one, of course, it's up. So there's no need to have two different places, two different batches on the terminal. We just do one, and we run only one command to start everything. Okay, that's cool. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to the client, to the source, and we're going to make a request to this location, to 3001. Let's do that right now. Okay, so from our client, our React application, we're gonna make a request with Axios to the server, the node server, which is gonna be returning some JSON data. All right, that's really simple. So first, we're gonna need to use Axios. We don't have it installed, so I'm gonna kill the server and do npm install, and then Axios, and then minus save. Okay, everything's done. I'm gonna do clear, and I'm gonna do npm run dev again. So everything is back up. So now what do we need to do? We need to do import. We need to do import, then Axios from, and then Axios. And right here, we're just gonna make a request, something really dumb. We're gonna say component will mount, open and close, and we're gonna say Axios just like this. And if you remember, if we make a request, whenever we're going to make a request to the server, and the server is going to be located at 3001. So that's going to be our location, just like we did with the JSON server. Same idea. So we're going to do a get, of course, open and close, and right here we need to pass the location. So what do we need to do again? We need to do localhost, http : / then localhost, and then 3001. The location is going to be API and then users. I'm going to copy this and paste it down here. Good. Of course, this is going to be returning a promise. So we're going to do then open and close. We're going to grab that response, and then we're going to be running the callback, right? So we're just going to console log the information just to see, just to check that we are getting it. So I'm going to say response and then that data. Remember that inside the response data we have the object, the JSON. The JSON data that this request is going to be returning. Good. So I'm going to go to localhost 3000. I'm going to reload the application and I'm going to go to the console to see if we get something. So, okay, we are getting error messages. That's good. It's going to say failed to load HTTP localhost 3001. Now again, it's a computer and you have two different things running on different things, localhost 3000 and 3001. So they are just two different domains. So the browser, it's not going to let you make a request to a different domain if you're not authorized. So okay, so we have a problem right here. We cannot make a request to localhost 3000. Now, if we change it to API users, that's not going to work, not going to really work, because inside the 3000, this domain, localhost 3000, API and users doesn't exist. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to create somehow a relation inside our application that tells that the localhost 3001 and localhost 3000 are the same thing. So we can use something now. Create React App gives us the ability to use proxies. So we can use something called proxy to make this relation between both servers. Okay, so I'm going to save it. I'm going to go to the package.json inside of the client, not inside of the root directory, not the package.json of the server. They want inside the client, inside the React application. And right here at the bottom, I'm going to do something really, really simple. I'm going to put a comma and I'm going to type proxy, just like this. Then open and close. And what I'm going to say, I'm going to pass the location of the server, of this server. Okay, so I'm going to say HTTP : / then localhost : and remember 3001, not 3000. And I'm going to do /. So now any requests, if we make a request inside the React application, all right, that if we make a request, it's going to treat it as the same domain. So now localhost 3001 and 3000 are the exact same thing. So if I make a request to API and users, this one should be working. I'm going to save it, and of course it's not going to work because we made some changes inside the package.json. So we need to restart the server. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to run it again. It's going to build everything. And right here, we should be getting something. 1 second. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. We should be getting something. Oh, I know. We're going to get it in a minute. Don't worry. So right now, look at this. It's working. And we are getting the data. So now the requests to the other location, to our backend server, are really working. So again, this proxy creates a pipeline between 3000 and 3001. And at the end, when you use it, it's going to come out from the same place. It's going to treat it as the same domain. So it's really, really good. Okay, so you could use this on a different way. For example, I'm going to delete it right now. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say proxy, open and close, and I'm going to create an object. So you can specify that whenever you get a request or you make a request from API and then / and then whatever, you want to, of course, treat it as localhost 3001. So what we do, we pass something, we can pass a property, it's going to be target, and then HTTP : / localhost, and then 3001 and /. So now API, localhost 3001. So now any request we make to API is going to be treated as the same domain, which is 3000. I'm going to save it. I'm going to kill the server, start it again. And okay, it's going to start it. And right here we get the message. Proxy created. You're gonna have this listener and return main proxy with the path name and everything else. So now we are making a request to API right here. So it's gonna treat it as localhost 3000 and not 3001. So we are getting the data. And the same thing, if we make a request to cars, which is inside the API right here, we're gonna get the cars. We get the usernames and we get the cars. All right, so now we can use this way. So now in the real life, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be running both services, the server and the client, and you're just going to do your project right here, whatever you need to do to create your project. And you're going to be using API to make requests. And this server is going to be just returning some data. Maybe we're going to be using MongoDB or something like that. It's just going to be returning something. Okay, now what is the other problem we have with this? Right now, we're making all the changes right here inside the package.json and the proxy and everything else. And this works in development. It's not going to really work in whenever you push this to production. Now, again, this works on dev. All right. So in real life, whenever you push this to Heroku, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be starting this one, the node server.js. And the thing that the your server is going to be really running, it's the build and not this client folder. You're going to be running the build with the bundle.js and everything else. So at the end, you're going to be rendering some static files and not something from the React server. So things are going to be changing a little bit whenever you push this to production. But we are not there yet. We need to learn a lot of things first with databases and everything else, because it's really, really basic. So in the next few sections, we're going to learn how to use MongoDB, how to use Postman, how to create a real API. And of course, we're going to link it to a React application and make requests. We're going to make authentications with MongoDB and everything else. So there's just a lot of things to do first before pushing this project to Heroku. And at the end, of course, I'm going to tell you how to make all the changes so this structure can work inside of a real place, inside production. Okay, so let's go to the next section and start with databases.